Yo, what up? How's it going? And welcome back for another video. Today's video, we'll be doing a patch note rundown for Teamfight Tactics, patch 11.18. So normally I watch Mortdog's rundowns before I do these, and if you want to just watch Mortdog's rundowns to get the dev side of stuff, you're welcome to do that. Go watch it on Mortdog's channel. But I usually watch it because I like to get the dev side of things, but I briefly skimmed through it the other day. So I'll be going into this a little bit blind with you, so let's learn together. All right, let's get right into it. They're adding a lot of new little legends, I'll talk about this at the end. Aesthetically, just real quick, it looks a lot more like set 4. You know what I mean? Like the paintbrush and stuff, very Asian inspired, but then a lot of it is like pentakill, I think. You know, like with some of the stuff, and also Aoshin uses guitar anyways. But anyways, because there's a new pentakill thing coming out too. And the esports Pingu. Oh man, check your wallets, guys, because this looks pretty good. But I'm a Craggle man myself, and I already have all the Craggles. All right, so let's go through the large changes. So large changes. They're nerfing Jax, so let's see. Turns out Jax really doesn't need a weapon. Yeah, Jax is probably the best carry, or is probably the easiest carry to run. If you guys watched the regional tournament, Robin Songs was, you know, he first placed 5 out of 6 games. And he basically played Jax pretty much all those games. He's the Jax Whisperer. He's the best Jax player on server. Everybody already knew it going into the tournament, and, you know, Jax kind of be Shmorphy. Cool, so Draven is getting buffed, 5 AD, 25 on right here, and spending axe damage scaling just goes up on 3-star. Okay, Draven is like a weird, he's weird. So Draven actually is pretty good. And if you're in any ELO below like Grandmaster, he's good. He's good enough to play. Like you can play him right now. But even in high ELO, sometimes Draven just morphs. And the reason why he's already kind of good is because Knights are really OP because of Lucian and because Vel'Koz are meta. And Knights do well into Lucian and Vel'Koz. I mean, Lucian is going to get nerfed on this patch. But still, those comps do really well. And then Knights are an easy way to transition into KO. And also, you can Knights transition into Aphelios. He's not the best one to transition from Knights to late game. But the point is Knights are really good. Because the units are really strong. And they do really well into what's already meta, which is Lucian. And then one of the most common AP meta is Vel'Koz. So they're actually pretty good into those, especially Lucian. I mean, Vel'Koz is like usually one Vel'Koz player each game, but there's usually like 3 Lucian players right now. So Knights are already good, and they're just good units. And Draven fits naturally into that comp. So I'm not sure if he needs all of this buff, but it's just 5 AD. I would strongly consider playing Draven more often if you weren't playing Draven at all this patch. I've been playing Draven this patch. I don't ever want to, but if I get forced into playing Draven, it doesn't feel that bad. Also, Draven has a decent matchup in the Jax already, so that's another reason why he was already decent. Because he has a decent matchup in the Draven or a decent matchup into Lucian and Jax, just by the nature that you can stack Knight Ironclad really easy on Draven. So, anyways, Draven, I'd give him a try next patch if you weren't trying him, because he already is playable. He's just not super meta, and this is getting him a little bit closer to being in line with the other 4 costs. But as I said, the other 4 costs are getting nerfed except for Aphelios, so be very interesting. Okay, Galio. Galio is the most broken unit in the entire game. Most likely. he is so strong. So they're buffing his 3-star damage, which is fine. And now his damage reduction going down by 5% and 10%. It probably doesn't matter. Sorry, my dog's just like running around right outside my door. This probably doesn't really matter that much. Galio is still going to be an amazing frontliner. He's still going to be a great plug-and-play frontliner. If you're playing Galio, you should keep playing Galio. But it's just knocking him down to be a little bit more in line with units like Rel, stuff like that. Right now, he just feels like it feels like a Galio lottery. That's like the big meme in high ELO. It's like you do a level 7 Galio lottery. So this is just toning him down a little bit, but Galio should still be good. Should still be really strong next patch. So if you want to play Galio, play Galio. All right, Ivern. So Ivern, they're changing him to not have a stun, basically. I mean, he has a 0.5 stun. Their idea with Ivern is that he is going to be more of an interrupt. Like, so for example, if Lucian is casting and he's in the cast range of Ivern, when Ivern casts, his whole idea of his design now is that his knockup is just an interrupt, not a stun. Obviously at 3-star, it's still going to be 6 seconds, but you never 3-star Ivern anyways. So that's the whole idea. And then they're making it tankier, which I guess they're just trying to compensate because they're scared and they're giving Daisy more damage. Since they're taking away the CC. Guys, if you hit Ivern on stage 3, you're still going to play Ivern. If you're playing a comp that uses Ivern really well, like Aphelios, he uses Ivern plus Teemo Volleyball uses it really well, you still want to play Ivern. if you're playing Invokers, you're playing, you're playing Karma, you're playing all that, you still want to play Ivern. Ivern is still going to be great. And if you get him on stage 3, he's still going to be great to just randomly toss into your team, because the reason why Ivern is so good early game is not really because of CC. The CC is great, but it's because look at the front line it provides. It's Ivern, who's a frontliner, and then plus Daisy, and now Daisy has more AD. So if you're playing Ivern before, keep playing Ivern. They want Ivern to still be strong. They're just kind of changing what he does. He is going to be a little bit weaker than he was before, but it's still going to be good. Okay, Jax. They're nerfing Jax, 50 health. Okay. His attack speed bonus is going down. Jax empowered slam attack scaling is going down at 3-star. Okay, Jax is still going to be good, but Jax looks like he's still going to be good. If it's still an AD meta, if it's still going to be an AD meta, then Jax should still be fine. He's just not going to be OP, because right now he's so OP. Like, it's pretty ridiculous that I'll have an Akshan 2 fully stacked Ironclad comp, and I'll lose to a Jax with the same items. Like, that's pretty ridiculous. But they're buffing his 3-star. Dude, Jax is OP at 3-star. I beat a 3-star Lucian with a 3-star Jax the other day because I had Bramble on him. It was hilarious. Anyways, so if you like playing Jax, you can keep playing Jax as long as it's an AD meta. If the meta, since Lucian is getting nerfed and Jax is getting nerfed, if the meta turns into more of an AP focused meta, which Karma's already good, she's just a little bit high roll. Vel'Koz, like people like players like Bert, like Bertosaurus and Pokygom, players like that, very good players, have been using AP comps really effectively on this patch. So they're actually good. They just weren't as flexible as the AP comps or as the AD comps. So if AP becomes meta, if that becomes a really strong meta, you might want to drop Jax from your rotation of carries you're looking for. But if the meta stays pretty AD focused and just there's a couple AP players in the lobby, Jax should still be really good because stacking Ironclads is great into that meta, and this isn't enough a nerf to drop his strength enough. Okay, Volleyball. So they're nerfing Volleyball. Basically what they're doing is they don't want Revenants to be the premier frontline, the only premier frontline late game. I don't know, man. Like, it's a legendary plus 2/4 cost. Like, if that's not supposed to be the most premier frontline in the game, then I don't know what is. And Knights are already good. Like, Garen's good. Galio is OP. I don't know if Volleyball needs to be nerfed and Ivern needs to be nerfed. But some of the changes aren't so bad here. We'll talk about it in a second, but they're nerfing Kayle real quick. So they're buffing Kayle by 5 AD, and then they're changing her AD scaling. So 80 to 60. And then 90 to 80 on her ascensions. So what you really need to know about this is what they're trying to do is they're trying to nerf the AD scaling on Kayle for her first and second ascension. Because right now, if you don't know, if you build Rageblade, Hodge, Deathblade, a Kayle 1 is better than almost every carry in the game with that specific item setup. It just is. If you have that specific item setup and you have a full stall board, Kayle 1 is better than almost any other 2-star carry in the game. That is just the reality. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep Kayle strong because she should be strong. She's Kayle. And you have to build a very specific composition to even run her. They want her to keep her strong, but they want to make her less reliant on Deathblade. So they increased her natural AD. So this would help if you built crit, because crit scales off base AD. This would help if you built, if you built Infinity Edge, right? This would help if you built Giant Slayer, right? So that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to make it to where she's not so stuck building Deathblade, and that if you do build Deathblade, it's still going to be good, but they just want IE and Deathblade and Giant Slayer to be a similar power level to Deathblade, so you don't feel like that's the item you have to have every game, and if you don't, she's way less in power. They want to make it very similar. So that's really what you need to know about it. Kayle should be strong, especially if the meta stays more around Knights and stuff like that, but Kayle should be strong if you want to make a Kayle board. And if Vel'Koz is meta, then Kayle will be really good. And I think Vel'Koz might stay meta. So, all right, Volleyball. So Volleyball no longer destroys shields. Instead, he will deal double damage to shields. This is really important for skirmisher compositions, because skirmishers have shields, right? If you wanted to play a 6 skirmisher composition, if you're in high elo, 6 skirmishers are pretty unplayable. You can play mid game, but you're better off just playing Knights. So, and Jax is also getting nerfed. So it's kind of, unless there's some small changes coming up to make skirmishers better. So it doesn't really matter that much for skirmishers. I mean, it does help skirmishers, so you don't instantly break the shield. That's one reason why skirmishers are terrible late game. But there's a lot of reasons why skirmishers aren't good. But this also helps Nightbringer builds. So Yasuo builds. Because right now Yasuo's build's a little bit different, and he's actually semi-meta. There can be one Yasuo player a game. I mean, even Robin Song's won a game in the regional tournament with Yasuo, I'm pretty sure. If not, he's second place. No, he first place. So Yasuo is already playable. He's not super meta, but if you get the right setup, he's already playable. And now this kind of opens the door back up to playing it kind of like the Yasuo Nightbringer Classico. Because right now his build's a little weird. You play around Rakan, a little bit different. So think about playing Yasuo in next patch, because there's also another change of Yasuo that buffs him. So this is a big buff to Yasuo, is really what I'm seeing here. Also a buff to playing Locket. I already stack Lockets early game because I don't play AP. So it's a good way to get rid of my rods. So if you want to stack Lockets, Lockets are going to be a little bit better on this patch. Not saying you should plan to stack Lockets, but they will be a little bit better on this patch. Okay, items. Radiant Bloodthirster, the health shield percent is going down. This is a nerf to Jax mainly. This item is like not even, like this item like seems really good, right? But in reality, I mean, it's good. When you hit it, you're like, okay, cool. It's really good on Jax. It's really, really, really good on Jax. And it's really good on Akshan. And it's really good on Kayle. But on the other carries that you'd think that would be like super good on, like Aphelios, Lucian, Draven, they're just like better off having like more damage instead of this item as a Radiant. So I didn't even think it was that strong. But so when they're looking at the data, they're probably seeing that it's going to be really OP on it's really OP on Jax, so that's boosting up the stats, as well as what they said right here, since Volleyball is getting nerfed, that he can't bust shields. This is just making the item that would make the item, I guess what they're thinking is that would make the item too consistent, because Volleyball actually breaks the shield like 50% of the time, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know if he ever breaks this shield, if I'm being real. But that's kind of what they're thinking too, is that they don't want this shield to be OP since no one can break it now. Okay, so Stoneplate is getting nerfed, the Radiant version. Cool. This item is broken, especially on Galio. So this is another nerf to Galio. But honestly, guys, Galio is good with any item. He's good with AP. He's good with just Warmonks. It's all good. All right, Locket, new Radiant bonus, 200 health for allies. All allies at the start of combat. That's a good, hey, stall boards. Hey, you guys listening? Stall boards. If you want to play, hey, that's a buff to skirmishers. If you're going to try to play skirmishers, big buff. Skirmishers. Radiant Locket shield. Oh, it went down. But you get the bonus health. It's actually a buff at 1 star, and it's even at 2 star. They just change it from shield to health, so it's more effective because there's no health breaking in the game, except for Giant Slayer. Dude, this might be a nerf if it puts your front line over Giant Slayer threshold. Okay, this item still sucks. But might need some testing. Maybe it's okay. But this might put you over Giant Slayer threshold now, which shielding didn't before, so... This item is a little bit better because there's no Volleyball breaking your shields. But this might put you over Giant Slayer threshold. But they were nerfing Giant Slayer, so we'll see. Whatever. Okay, Static Shiv, Magic Damage Shred. There might be a Static Shiv build out there where this is like really good. I mean, obviously it's good on like Heimerdinger and Teemo, who have like a lot of attack speed, and it's like decent to stack attack speed on them. But I mean, this item just like doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? It's just like, I mean, the Shred is cool. You can put it on a random backliner just to get the shred for your front line, but you're always way better building Spark instead. Like Spark is just way better. Because if you're playing AP, you're probably going to play around A-Bomb. You can put on A-Bomb. Or you're going to play around Volleyball. Volleyball really gets in the mix. He's very tanky. He lives a long time. So you're always just better using Static Shiv, or not Static Shiv, Spark. So that's why this item just feels so bad. Because you're just better with Spark if you're presented with both the options. Or if you already built a regular Spark, like, it's just a waste of your Radiant to grab this. So I don't know if this item will ever be good. Maybe there's some really OP setup. You know, I don't know. Cool. I think someone, maybe there is an OP setup, but no one's figured it. No one's cracked the code yet. Okay. Small, like the LP gains of my reality. Okay. Small changes. All right. I don't know why I read that. Okay. Yordles, or not Yordles. Hellions. Buffed at 6 and 8, because running 6 and 8 Yordles, no, Hellion, sorry, sucks. So cool, nice buff, I guess. Okay, Chug nerf at 3 star. They don't want you to play Chug anymore. A Chug was already not really meta this patch, but you could play it when you high roll it. You can play Chug Renewers, or you can play Renunu. So they're just nerfing that. I mean, Gragas is like OP if you actually get the board online. Like, it seems strange that this is a real comp that you can play sometimes. It's not very meta right now, but if you do get the setup, it actually is pretty good. So I don't mind this being nerfed a little bit, because Gragas should not be good. He should not be good. He should be good at 2-star and 1-star as a frontliner, but he should not be the chug jug machine that he is sometimes. Anyways, all right, Pike. God bless. They're like fixing Pike. This must be why Pike feels so wrong right now. Pike will now always choose a new combat target after his dash. This improves his consistency at stunning units in the corner, especially when he's dashing short distances. So a lot of times, what he'll do is, especially on short distances, like let's say you're right in the corner, right? I don't know how to show this. Or you're right in the corner. So here's the guy you're dashing to. Here's the guy you're fighting. So what'll happen is Pike will dash forward like that to the corner, and then he'll turn around to start fighting this person, and he doesn't stun anybody, or he just stuns this person. So he doesn't actually get the benefit of stunning right in front of himself. So what they're trying to make it happen is when he dashes to the corner, he'll acquire this as a new target so that he'll be more likely to stun in front of him, because Pike's stun actually goes 1 hex in front of him so that he can actually stun people. He didn't used to forever ago, and they fixed that a long time ago. So Pike should feel a lot more consistent, so very happy about that. I love Pike. Cool. Nidalee has been one of the most broken units in the game forever. Her health is going down. Okay, that's all they're doing. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Nidalee is still like amazing. Like Nidalee 1 will just beat my Riven 2 randomly just off of RNG, and it's annoying. Anyways, Nunu. Oh wow, they're really nerfing Nunu. Nunu is like really strong at 1 and 2-star. Like if you hit a 2-star Nunu early game, like you're top 4. And then they're nerfing at a 3-star. Yeah, they're really nerfing that Renunu build, which is basically where you play Chug Jug with Renewers and Nunu, and maybe throw some A-bombs in there. Oh yeah, you do throw some A-bombs in there. You run Ivern, and then you just run Fiddle. Yeah, so they're nerfing that build, so they just don't want you to play that build because it's kind of whack, and it's like it doesn't follow the rules of TFT. Like you just build frontliners, and it's kind of weird. All right, Yasuo, Burning Blade cast time reduced. This has been one of Yasuo's biggest problems. It's because he's really an auto attack based champion, but his ult takes forever. Like he's like, hua, 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 hua. All right, so overall he's just buffed. Like overall he's just buffed. That's all you need to know about it. But if you end up having to build like blue buff on him early game, he'll be a lot better because he'll hit, cast, boom, hit, cast, boom, and he'll like keep hitting, right? So that time will be reduced because he's a really good blue buff holder early game, but it feels like awkward, super awkward mid game because he's just stuck in the air forever. So this is a big buff to Yasuo. Yasuo was already meta because he deals true damage, and the meta was kind of like focused around building knights. So he should be pretty good next patch. And Nightbringers got buffed because they nerfed Galio, or nerfed Volleyball. He doesn't break shields anymore. Not certain he's going to be meta because maybe the Knight meta is just going to be gone now. I don't think it's going to be, but maybe the Knight meta is going to be gone and he won't be as good. But if the Knight meta kind of stays, and Yasuo is going to be really good this battle. He should be pretty good. At least that's what I think. I could be wrong, but he's already kind of decent. Okay, Aphelios. Attack damage scaling at 3-star. Okay, who cares? And at 3-star. Okay, who cares? Aphelios still good. Aphelios would be a lot better this patch because Lucian got nerfed. So he's probably the premier AD carry along with like maybe Draven's gonna be OP. I don't know. But Aphelios was already decent this patch, but he kind of like he was really good at the beginning of the patch, but then once everybody understood that Lucian was the best AD carry and Jax, then he just like fell short of those. And you were just better off playing the other guys. But since the other guys got nerfed, Aphelios should be pretty good this patch. He's already good, but it's just he's just outshined by other people who are better. So they buffed 3-star Aphelios, whatever. Okay, who cares? Diana buffed a 3-star. Okay, who cares? Fiddle buffed a 3-star. Who cares? 3-star. Who cares? 3-star. Who cares? All right. Cool. I thought that said Vigar. Anyways, Viego's Sovereign Domination damage. Oh, they're buffing it at 2-star and nerfing it 1-star. God bless, man. God bless, because he is still one-shotting your backline if you guess wrong. Because right now, what's happening in TFT, which is cool because it adds a lot of skill expression, but there's so many positional carries in the game that it's so hard to position for every player, and TFT doesn't have true fight order. There's a lot of randomness to fight order, especially late game when you think there wouldn't be as much, because when people get eliminated, I'm not going to go too far into this, but when people get eliminated, it changes the fight order a little bit because now it just throws a wrench into the system. Anyways, that's all you really know. And Viego is one of the most annoying units to have to position for. Like you position for the Vel'Koz player, but now you're right on the Viego player. You position for the Aphelios Diana player, but now you're right on the Draven Viego player. And you just like take 20 and you lose, and you played your whole game super well, and now you took a 5th place because you mispositioned one round when you had no control over who you fought. Feels like bullshit. right? And so what they want is they want Viego to not be able to just full one-shot on 1-star, right? But they do want him to be super strong on 2-star. He is a legendary, right? After all. And he should feel good with items, and he should feel good when you build Sin. He should feel good when you have Forgotten. So this is really good. There's big buff to whenever you play Forgotten. Big buff to like when you play MF Forgotten, Vayne Forgotten. When you just play just 2 Forgotten with Draven late game, or sometimes you get a Forgotten spot, you play 4. So this is big buff to Forgotten builds. Maybe Forgotten builds will be a little bit better next patch. They're already decent. Like Vayne is pretty good. MF when you're high rolling. I first placed a game in like Challenger Elo the other day with MF. So because I was high rolling it and I was uncontested and felt really good. I played 6 Nightbringer because I got a Nightbringer emblem. And I played Viego. He felt very good. All right, anyways. So that's a big buff to that, but nerf at 1-star, so God bless. Okay, Radiant Frozen Heart. Starting mana goes down. God bless. This is one of the most broken items in the game. You toss it on a Viego, you toss it on a Diana, they jump back and they instant cast, especially on Diana. So it's still going to be super good if you're going to play Aphelios and you get it and you have your Diana, or you're going to play a comp and you're just like, oh, I can fit Diana in here. Still going to be super good. Still going to be super good in Sins. Still going to be super good. It's not just going to jump to the background, insta-cast, and no counterplay. At least maybe you'll have a chance that your Syndra will cast to get her away from you. So yeah, so this is a nice buff to like Vel'Koz board, because maybe Syndra will actually cast and throw her out of there. Because you won't insta-cast unless you have another mana item. All right, Gargoyle Stoneplate, regular item, getting nerfed by 2, because they just buffed this, but it was actually already good, and they just buffed it for no reason. And they buffed Galio for no reason. He was already good. I don't know. Just people weren't playing Lucian as much, but they were just it was just people not playing it. It wasn't a matter of them not being good. So they're just kind of reverting here. That's fine. So they're nerfing the bonus on Giant Slayer. They're doing this because people are going to be less likely to build Stoneplate now. They're going to be building Warmogs again, right? They're nerfing Stoneplate. They're nerfing Galio. So you're more likely going to be building health-focused items again. And so to compensate for that, they're going to go ahead and nerf this, because this is obviously going to be strong into that. They also nerfed Nunu. They also nerfed the Renunu comp, the Gragas comp. And so as compensation, they're nerfing this because these are direct counters to those compositions, as well as this item is one of the best performing items in the game. But I don't think it's because of the item. It's just because Lucian uses it super well. It's because Jax uses it super well. And they were the best carries. As well as, you know, this item's really good on Vel'Koz. And Vel'Koz has been pretty good. It's fine, and it's fine on everyone else. So I'm fine with this getting nerfed. I actually really like when this item is meta, because it makes it to where you can play super flex. But, you know, maybe the item's a little strong. I'm not sure. It might just be that the champions who use it really well are very strong, like Lucian, like Jax, Vel'Koz. Cool. Rapid Fire, Light Cannon, Radiant bonus has gone down. I don't know if this needs to be nerfed, man. Like, this is just so broken on Riven and Nocturne, and Nocturne has just been really good on this patch. I, for whatever reason, can't play the champ. I can't play that comp. I've never top forward with that comp in my life. I think I just get really unlucky. I know exactly how to play it. But Radiant, Rapid Fire is so broken on Nocturne, and that comp is just so good. So, yeah. I don't know if this item needs to be nerfed. It's literally only good on him and like Riven and Yasuo. Maybe they're nerfing it because Yasuo is going to be Yasuo might be good this patch, and they're just kind of scared of Yasuo being good. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Okay. Bug fixes. Players who miss AFK checks will no longer be intentionally forced to serve Q dodge. Oh, okay. Oh, if you miss, oh, you won't get a Q dodge timer. Okay. You doing leak. Okay. Bramble Vest no longer blocks more critical strike damage than intended. Oh, okay. Well, Bramble was just OP last patch. Okay. Teemo ability now specifies that its attack speed slows last 3 seconds. Is it not on the tooltip already? I know it. I mean, it already does that. I guess it's just tooltip stuff. Culminated again. Kennen's and Riven's stun now properly cause Lucian's to stop firing his ability. Apparently, this has been a bug, but it's been only like in 1% of cases that it happens. It's like really low chance bug that Lucian just continues to cast during the stun. But they're just like fixing that out again. Cannoneers holding Deathblade will no longer fire a non-functional Deathblade related visual rare on odd scenarios. This was also one when I watched the patch note rundown, they said this is like a 1% time this happened. So probably unchanged. You probably didn't even notice. TFT is about skillfully controlling variants. Some players have been able to ignore variability and skillfully link together first and foremost. We're keeping an eye on this and discussing balance levers for pro players that are dominating tournaments to consistently. Explorations include live bees, spilling milk, keyboards, more live bees. Oh, they're just messing around. Oh, they're just messing around. Whatever. Okay. Cool. Let's look at these little legends. All right. Yo, check your wallet. Check your wallet. The money already may have left. And these ones are all right. I kind of like this one. But I am a Craggle guy only, so I'll be playing Craggles. Anyways, guys, if you made it, if you're watching the VOD and you made it all the way to this part in the video, I always appreciate when I see a comment at the comment in the comment section that says that you made it all the way here because you spent a whole 30 minutes or 25 minutes or whatever you spent. Just listen to me talk. I just think it's really cool, and I always read it and I check that out. So if you do want to do that, that'd be awesome. It makes me feel good, and you know, it helps me on YouTube. You know, he does a thing. Anyways, but that's gonna be it for the patch note rundown, and I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. See ya. Bye.